Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Super BS Gamescast. I'm your host Brian, and you are...
Wait, what? Oh, I'm Brian, I guess.
And this is...
Brian.
So we're all Brians today, just three Brians hanging out. One Brian is currently playing Zelda.
What are you talking about, guys? What are we doing here? I've just been here playing Zelda all day.
Well, tell us about
Put this
Zelda.
away right now.
We want to know about Zelda.
You guys want to know about Zelda, huh? What do you guys want to know about Zelda?
Just like everything.
Everything? Well, I got on my handy new little toy called Nintendo Switch. Yeah, it's really cool.
Why are your controllers that color?
Because I love them
so
that
you
way.
can find them with a black light, or
yeah, that's why. Because I have a black light in my house at all times, looking for these controllers.
Is Game Boy Super Advance is what that is.
My Game Boy Super Advance. But no, old Donna got a chance to play it this week. It's really cool. It's very similar to the old Legend of Zelda. You really need to get a Pro controller. This is an advertisement for Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch products today.
Why does this look so much like an Xbox controller?
Because the Xbox controller is the best controller. Everybody knows that.
So is there like a patent problem?
DualShock 4. DualShock 4 is okay. What's up?
Is there like a patent problem here with like stealing this?
No, there's no. This has gyroscopic sensors as well as an IR sensor for all your amiibo needs. Okay.
Gyroscopic, like 6-axis.
Yeah,
like 6-axis. There's not enough 6-axis controllers nowadays.
I think I turned it on accident.
You didn't. You have to turn it on by doing this, and then you can play. See? Boom. But no. Yeah, I did purchase a Nintendo Switch. It is a ton of fun. It is probably not the time to buy it if you have a Wii U, because the main reason to get it is for Zelda. Zelda is amazing. It is very similar to the original Zelda in that it is extremely difficult. It does not guide you down a path. It kind of just says, hey, do this stuff, learn how to play. So it does have some guidance, but then it just goes, now go. And then you figure out everything else. And it's awesome. There's like little things where you'll see like 3 rocks in a row, and there'll be a 4th rock out of place, and you drop a rock down, and then a surprise will happen. You'll either get a treasure chest or...
From what I understand about this game, you can literally wander around this game forever.
I don't know if it's forever, but it does.
That big?
It takes a long time. I've only probably had 6-7 hours to play, and I have not covered. I've covered some of the bottom part of the map, so it's a huge map. I've unlocked about 4 of the 10 towers in the game. It does have a tower mechanic similar to Assassin's Creed, but a lot more fun.
Is there like eagle points?
There is an eagle point of view. He's
jump off of
then he jumps off into bales of hay.
Yeah, okay.
It was really strange, and then he just wades through the crowd, pushing people around through Hyrule.
If you sprint too long, do you get pushed over by people?
Yeah, you get pushed. Well, actually, if you do sprint too long, you might fall over. Because you got a stamina meter. You got a stamina meter. You have weapons that break. It is unlike Zelda in almost any way that I could imagine. It feels like they're like, hey, Dark Souls is cool, so let's do something like that because it's hard. You die a ton. And they like some of the portal mechanics, so all the shrine puzzles, which are like mini puzzle dungeons, are really, really cool and interesting. And mainly that's all I've been playing. I mean, we could talk about it most of the day, but I'm curious to see what you guys have been playing.
Okay.
What about you, JP?
All right. Well, I mean, I haven't really been playing a lot of new games.
Boom!
I know. I want to go pick up For Honor, but I'm afraid that I'm not going to finish it by the time Mass Effect comes out.
Why would you pick up For Honor?
Is there a campaign for Honor, like a single player?
Yeah.
I need something to play. I feel like there's just this void, and I don't want to like go out and buy a game that I'm not going to be able to finish before Mass Effect comes out. Because I just finished Halo Wars 2. I don't know if we talked about that last time.
You mentioned that you bought it.
I finished it, finally. It was a struggle.
It was only 1 week, I think. Didn't you just buy it last week?
What's your final verdict? Because your first verdict was it's fantastic. Then it was less than fantastic.
Oh, so it's 2 weeks.
See, I spoke out of rage before. Like, at the end of it, the story is very confusing. Beautiful cinematics. Gameplay is fun, frustrating, stupid, and then fun again. So I mean, it all depends on if you like RTSs, I guess.
Yeah.
it would be.
I like Age of Empires.
I don't like. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like games where I'm being timed to do stuff. Like
I hated that. I hated Pikmin 1 just because of that.
I
love Pikmin 1.
Yeah, because I like being able to just take my time, build up my troops. I don't like saying like, "Hey, you have 30 minutes to do this," and while you're doing this, the more it's like a capture the flag type thing. The more bases that they control, the more their meter goes up, and you have to beat them, and it's just like
that's kind of like what a strategy game is, though, right?
Kind of, but normally there's not like extra time limits.
But Halo Wars is not like your typical strategy game. It's kind of a strategy game that's played by your amateur gamers.
Right, but it's still like, what would be the challenge if there was no enemy that was building forces against you?
See, that's true. I get it from that standpoint. I
don't know why there's like a time, like you have 30 minutes or something, because it just seems like it should be the AI is doing its thing and you're against it, but.
Yeah, I mean, especially since like it takes...
But unless it's legitimately turn-based, where it's like the enemy freezes on...
Oh, see, no, they don't do that. Like, you have to wait, like, on the last Halo Wars, you had to wait for, you build up your supplies. And then, but on this one, you also have to build up power.
Oh, okay.
So you have to upgrade your generators. And so not only, like, you can have, like, thousands and thousands of, like, little supply crates and you can build stuff, but if you don't have enough, like, power modules to do it...
It's same as, like, Age of Empires having, you need to build houses to build units, or, like, Warcraft, you have to build houses. Normally it's houses. Yeah. Normally that's what it is, right? It allows your unit count to go up.
Yeah.
Your energy. Okay, they have that in every strategy game, though, man.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I just need to dive into a little more strategy game playing, but the only ones I played are Halo Wars and Halo Wars 2. Okay. So, I don't have a vast amount of experience to go off of here.
Yeah, I used to play StarCraft and Warcraft 2 back in the day.
Yeah, those are
Heroes
great.
Might and Magic 3. It's the only strategy game that matters.
For good things.
False. False.
Yeah. What are you playing though?
Just Torment still, Dragon Age still, and
let us know a little bit more about Torment, because last week you had just
While I was editing the podcast last week, I was looking at video play of Torment. It actually looks kind of cool. It looks a lot better than I expected it to look. Like it has that RPG look to it. It's not just like the pictures that come up on the screen. That's what I was kind of expecting.
You mean like a Japanese RPG?
Yeah.
You're expecting like
our favorite game
series, Tales.
I was expecting like a literal board game like popping up on the screen, but it's a legitimate looking RPG. It's cool. I mean, I'm curious about it.
I think he's not. Have you ever seen Baldur's Gate? The original Baldur's Gate. Okay, because it all built off that. So, anyways, tell us a little bit about it, Donna.
It goes back to like PC style computer games, which are based on tabletop role playing games, not board games.
Okay.
So like Dungeons and Dragons, that kind of thing. So it's it's not like a board game style kind of thing. It's going really well. I think the day after last week I put in like 8 hours because I just couldn't stop, and then I had the day off. Didn't do anything else that day. It's really engaging. It's hard to play at night because it's not a good way to unwind. You have to read everything, and
it's
then
a good way to wind.
Yeah, it gets your mind reading going, and then all of a sudden it's midnight and you're not tired anymore. So that's a little, But I'm enjoying exploring. I'm still kind of in the first city. I've done a handful of side quests. I've got a handful of party members. I've done a handful of battles. It's cool. It's true to the tabletop in a lot of cool ways. And yeah, it's just really interesting. The world is interesting. I can't say for sure because I play the tabletop, so I will always have, I always go into it with pre-existing knowledge of how the world works. Like there's tons of references that I know, and so I can't tell you how good of a job In Exile did with building, like portraying the world for someone that's never heard of it. Not because they may not have done a good job. It seems like they did a great job, but I already know. So
yeah,
I can't like speak to that. But the game is really true to the world. And
What do you think about the systems in the game? Like the combat, the conversation, like the character growth systems.
What is the combat like, though? Is it...
It's turn-based.
It's turn-based. So do you have, like, your drop-down menu of, like, attack items?
No, it works nothing like a Japanese RPG. If you've never played, like, a turn-based PC RPG before, I guess...
the original Dragon Age is similar.
Yeah, similar-ish. It basically works like actual tabletop role-playing to an extent, where in the event of like a fight or whatever, like there's a turn order that's determined by various numbers and stats internally.
Okay.
In the tabletop, you roll for it, but in this it's just determined by stats, I think. And then
just to add on to that, it's a little similar to, have you ever played any strategy RPGs that are like grid based? Like Final Fantasy Tactics, Tactics Ogre.
Yeah.
If you take out the grid and then you add that people can move a certain amount or use certain thing, or XCOM, if you played a game similar to that, it's like that, but not RPG.
That's not a bad way to look at it either.
Because you have like a certain amount of moves, right? You can normally, can you increase that? I only was able to do a move and attack, or 2 moves.
Yeah, it just seems like move and attack. You have each turn of yours. There's like you have the ability to do something that consumes movement and something that consumes an action.
Yeah.
What's nice is that there's a lot of ciphers and like things that you would probably consider actions that fall under the category of movement.
Okay.
So
like, you can do attacks twice.
Yeah.
Almost.
So like with the nano that I have, I can not necessarily. Sometimes it boils down to that. Sometimes it's like you can attack and heal.
Oh, okay.
So you can like I can cast an esotery, which is the Numeria term for a spell, and then I can teleport on the same turn, which is nice.
Yeah.
The combat though is pretty tense. It's not exciting if you're not invested in the game at all. So, but it's pretty tense because you're not. Numenaria is not really about a game it's not really a game that's about getting like uber powerful. It probably exists to be fairly combat sufficient in some way, but for the most part, like you're generally feeling some type of risk involved in combat because you theoretically can talk your way out of every major combat situation. You can talk your way out of or avoid.
If you're already in combat, though, can you like put your sword down and then try to talk your way out of it? You can. Okay,
I did that last.
Cool.
I did that. Cool. So I did that. The very first fight you get into, you can do that. I killed 3 of the guys, and then the guy finally backed down. And then later, I was able to allow that guy to aid me in a quest. Not directly, but you show up and he's already there, and then he has cleared out the first round of enemies for you, basically, which is nice. Yeah. So, so there's a lot of that. There's a lot of reactive stuff. There's a lot of just getting into like sort of quests that move forward, that move time forward, where if you don't do certain things, people will die or things will be unavailable. So I'm just getting sort of into that part of the game because I haven't pushed the main quest along because I just like exploring the map, coming in and like, every area of the city has got a lot of interesting stuff in it. It's fun to just read descriptions of things and look at things and talk to weird people.
That's kind of half the fun of those games is just the exploration and the adventure elements.
Yeah. But even a game like Pillars of Eternity feels... which I loved, but feels a lot more combat oriented.
Yeah, than this one where
and it's not combat oriented in the sense that the whole point of the game is combat, because there's a lot of exploration and story in Pillars as well. But there's not like you are like creating a team and characters and Pillars that are made for combat, for how you want to fight, not like Torment where it's like, I want to create a character that's good at getting out of every fight.
Okay.
Yeah. So the whole impetus of the game is just a lot different, which is cool. I'm loving it. It is similar to, I get the Planescape Torment vibe, which I've played I haven't finished a run through of Planescape, but I have played it on a handful of occasions, and it's just super wacky, which is great. The game is cool. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, I got to play just the little bit that I played last week, and I was digging it. I can't wait to get back into it. I just, I think the day after we recorded, I got Zelda and Nintendo Switch, so I haven't had the chance. But yeah, it's awesome.
I'm looking forward to getting into the other locations in the game. What's interesting is that unless there's a bunch of like in between map areas, it seems like there's not a whole lot of areas in the game. Okay. It seems like there's two cities.
Well, there's exploration within each city.
Yes, there's a lot of density to explore in each place, but it's not like doesn't seem like you're traversing a lot of wilds or anything like that.
Some games can't do that well, so it's better to not do it at all.
Yeah, and that's true. There are like two different, even for the tabletop of Numeria, there's a lot of like quest lines that you can do, pre-written adventure campaigns and stuff like that just take place within cities, because part of the nature of the world is that traveling in the wilds is extremely dangerous, because there's a billion years worth of ununderstandable technology that just litters the ground, so you never know when you're going to be camping in the woods and just get chanced upon by some wandering automaton, or some weird cult thing, or get zapped into another dimension, or like get lost in time.
Sounds dangerous.
Or get mutated. Like there's so many different dangers. So it makes sense that there's not a ton of wilds to explore. That being said, it would be great if there was another, like a sequel to this game, that was more on the exploring aspect of the Ninth World, instead of the kind of like smaller scale aspect of it, which is again not really a complaint, because I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, it would be cool.
I think that the setting of Numeria is one of my favorite world settings I've ever encountered.
Yeah.
So just as a fan, it's more like I would love so many different types of games in this setting.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool if they, and I mean, this isn't a different types of games, but like even like Baldur's Gate explore Dungeons and Dragons, and then Icewind Dale explore Dungeons and Dragons in a different way. It'd be cool if Numeria had a lot of different ways to explore the rich world that they made, because I feel like a 20 to 30 hour game is not going to give you the type of exploration you want when it's so character focused and so story heavy.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're going to take a quick break and come back and discuss the previous month and the month up ahead.
I also played Mega Man 9 for a minute.
No, you didn't!
Yeah. I decided to turn on my Wii U and play Skyward Sword since Breath of the Wild came out. Yeah. I never finished Skyward Sword.
Isn't Breath of the Wild's out on Wii U now, right?
Yeah, so I decided I'm going to get it on Wii U, but not until I finish Skyward Sword, because I played Breath of the Wild a little bit, and I can tell that I will never go back and play Skyward Sword ever again after playing Breath of the Wild, because one, I hate motion controls.
Yeah.
And two, it's so like hand-holdy. So literally.
It's the Wii and Wii U era of, hey, you don't know how to play games, so watch an hour or two of tutorials.
Right. So
you've never played Zelda before.
I forgot that there's no non-motion control version of Skyward Sword, so I plugged in like my Pro controller to play it, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna play it this way because I don't want to do the motion control stuff. And then I was like, you can only play this game with motion controls.
That's why they released a version of it with the Motion Plus controller.
The only version is Motion Plus.
Well, that's why they released a version with the controller, because you had to have that controller. So, man. But
anyway, it was late at night, and I decided, no, I'm just gonna look at my Wii menu, because you have to go into a separate Wii menu mode on the Wii U, which is stupid. Yeah. And I saw my copy of Mega Man 9. And
you didn't get it on 360 instead?
Not?
No.
Okay, because it's now backwards compatible with Xbox One.
I think it didn't come out on all three at the same time, did it?
I think it did.
Was that an arcade game, or was it a
Xbox Live Arcade?
It was at some point.
Yeah, it's on Xbox One. You can check it out now. That and Mega Man 10, I think, were backwards compatible.
It's obviously incredibly hard, like any Mega Man game. So.
It's even more difficult, I think, than 1 through 4 or 5, which I felt like are difficult, but you can at least get to the last boss stage.
Yeah.
That one is like, I can't even beat a single boss.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, we'll be back to talk about some of the games we liked from last month and then talk a little bit about the news.
All right.
Badooch.
Hey everyone, if you're in the Southern California area and are looking for the best way to improve your home, look no further than adding some always green synthetic grass today. Whether it's creating that awesome backyard that's kid and pet friendly, or that putting green to work on your golf game, Always Green provides installation and landscaping with only American-made products, such as their famous synthetic turf with advanced drainage technology and backed by a 15-year warranty that will have your yard looking great for a very long time. Always Green also installs retaining walls, custom lighting and driveways, and the most beautiful stone walkways, so if you live in the Southern California area, what are you waiting for? Financing is also available, so call for a free estimate today. 714-614-7814. That's 714-614-7814. Or stop by their store at 16772 Wanda Circle in Huntington Beach and get your home looking great with Always Green synthetic turf and putting greens. A proud sponsor of Pop Culture Cosmos, Humanican Media, and the PCC Multiverse channels.
As you guys all know, there's a brand new...
Let's just play the game and then we'll come back.
We are doing an early access play of Mass Effect Andromeda.
So cut out what you said.
The game is a lot different than I think people were expecting because it's a card-based game.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to be away from the Shepard story and play something a little different. Hopefully... because it is called Mass Effect Andromeda: Scrolls. Hopefully Bethesda won't sue BioWare.
Yeah. And they won't sue Mojang again for his Scrolls game, which he's already sued for.
Well, I think what's going to happen is Bethesda's going to sue BioWare for using Scrolls because you can't use that word.
Yeah.
And then BioWare is going to sue Mojang, Minecraft boys, because they had that first lawsuit in the first place. It's all their fault.
Yeah, and it's weird that they added Scrolls Gwent. I mean, it's just totally strange to have a Witcher 3 card game.
Yeah, it's a lot
whatever.
of colons.
And it's funny because the rules of this game are basically triple triad.
From Final Fantasy 9 or 8?
I think, because Tetramaster is Final Fantasy 9.
That was a good one. I like that one a lot.
Right,
they should make a
Let's get to
this
this massive open world game that everyone keeps talking about.
Let's see what we got to do.
We were the two best hand-to-hand combatants on the ship. I had Reach, but she had...
What did she have?
Blank.
We can all play, and then just...
Okay.
Or you can do a rando from you, if you want. And so
this.
we can throw a third one in there.
Okay.
Now, let's see. She has...
Let's just draw this first one here.
There we go. Let's see which one wins.
Let's read them.
Some of these wouldn't be funny if you didn't play the game, which is good. But
well, we're playing it now, so everybody knows how to play it. It's a card experience.
We were the two best hand-to-hand combatants on the ship. I had Reach, but she had the Genophage.
Nice.
Now, that's very politically timed because I'm sure that...
That's...
But she had running a few errands before saving the galaxy. She was great at doing grocery shopping for the,
for the ship.
Yeah. And then also, but she had an armored Krogan war clitoris.
That is a very serious thing to have.
That sounds very violent.
Sounds, in some ways, unmanageable for her.
So which one wins?
I'm gonna have to go with the Genophage.
Oh, but
yes,
he won.
Yes.
Anyways, this is Mass Effect Andromeda. You can see it right here. It's a new card game. It costs $1. They're releasing it on Xbox One and PS4. No, actually, Mass Effect Andromeda comes out at the end of this month. It's like starting next week on Friday. You can play.
Wait. This is funny though. An extremely long elevator ride because how many of those have we
you in the
endured
face
in Mass Effect? Right? You're like, what is this, like 5 minutes?
Oh my goodness!
I don't remember I don't remember having an issue with the elevator rides because people talked on them, right?
You do talk to people, yeah, that's true.
It was bad, but yeah, it wasn't like the end of the world. It's not as bad as loading nowadays, but
I think I don't like there's a lot of games that I don't like, but if I like a game, I pretty much have no problem looking past all its flaws.
You're okay with that.
I really like. I keep hearing about load times in this generation, all that kind of stuff, and like honestly, I don't notice them.
I notice them just because I get so antsy. I'm just, I'm a millennial, man. I want all my apps and I want them now, okay? I want all my apps, I want them now, and I want the food delivered to my house in a minute. And Amazon Prime now, I want it at my house right this second, okay? So
I'm waiting for BuzzFeed the game.
BuzzFeed the I don't get enough BuzzFeed articles every week. BuzzFeed, if you're listening to us, we love you. But no,
everything that's wrong with our generation can be described in BuzzFeed.
In BuzzFeed, yeah.
Mass Effect Andromeda comes out this coming month. It's next week on Thursday. There's going to be a 10-hour playable demo. BuzzFeed.
Wait, so when does it actually come out then?
Comes out the following week.
Okay.
The 27th, I feel like, and the 16th is when you get the.
So
it's something. All I know is that very, very soon you'll get the 10-hour EA Access demo, which is kind of cool.
So whatever games that we're playing right now, whatever games the listeners are playing, they should finish them before next Thursday is what we're getting.
If they have EA Access. And if not, it's $5. So like $5 for a month, and you get like a 10% discount. I'm shilling all this stuff to you guys. I just want you to know that EA decided to... EA contacted me in my house, was like, hey, we love you. We love you, man. We love what you do. All your 30 listeners are gonna love you. But no, it's an exciting thing.
He's been indoctrinated by the Reapers.
I knew it.
But no, I'm excited to play it. I will probably download the thing. Hopefully, maybe we'll get a chance to all play it together. That'd be a lot of fun.
When you go to Brian's house, there's a hum there. So you can't
it's very low pitch.
And there's also, why is there a guy in a suit with EA right around the whole time? I don't know, man. He's just a friend of mine. He comes over every day.
Just looks at me.
No, there's actually been kind of a lot of gaming news recently. Before we get to some of the Switch stuff and look back at our previous month, there was like Ghost Recon came out this week. Did you guys get a chance to look at that?
I'd rather just keep talking about how EA are Reapers.
Damn it! I didn't
see. It makes sense. That's why Mass Effect 3's ending was the way it was, because they said EA. It's EA's like, screw you to gaming kind, where they're like, hey, you don't like what we made BioWare do with Mass Effect? Well, if you side and let, like, no matter what happens, everyone dies. So you're stuck with us.
I will never get to talk about
already invested 1,000 hours into this franchise.
There's a meta game to the EA takeover of Mass Effect.
That's cruel. It's very cruel.
Yeah.
EA, if you're listening to this, I don't agree with them. Please give me money.
Kind of like how Nier.
Automata?
No, the first Nier.
Damn it! We almost got to talk about the new game.
How the first Nier, how if you beat it twice, it literally deletes your in-game save files.
Which is the smart thing to do, because people don't want those.
Well, no, it's part of like the point of that game, like it's like part of the quirkiness of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically you beat the
game, but what would you do? Like, it's not like there's a new game plus. Like, you literally would be looking at your save file.
And I like looking at them. Okay,
right.
I kind of want a USB drive at home. I show them slideshows to my family.
The way the game works is you beat it, and then you beat it like. I think there's like a first new game plus kind of situation.
Well, why would you want the last save file though if you already went through it?
Right. Well,
that's what you're saying. They delete the whole thing.
Part of because the story changes your second playthrough, and then it goes into your system and deletes your save files.
Yeah.
Part of the whole.
And all of your save files doesn't just delete that game.
All of
it
them.
goes through there and deletes every save file and bricks your system.
Oh, that's nice.
Developer really hated everyone.
Yeah.
Speaking of Nier, thank you for that segue. Nier Automata also came out this week. It sounds like nobody cares about Ghost Recon here, so we won't talk about that. But Nier Automata came out. Were you guys interested in it? Does it look cool?
I think it looks awesome. I think it's the second PS4 exclusive that's
maybe you want to buy one.
Not quite, but
yeah, getting close.
I mean, if it was really cheap.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick it up cheap.
The game with all like the Japanese like school looking kids on the cover, right?
No,
that's Final Fantasy Type 0.
That's Final Fantasy. Nier had like an old, really rad looking dude with white hair, and then a lot of people always wrote, and I never played it, but that there's some fishing side quest you have to do that kind of makes the game almost impossible.
It's the original Nier.
The original Nier. But this one is like just a chick looking kind of schoolgirl, but she's got like a robot little thing.
Yes.
She's like a black dress. Blind on her.
Pictures, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looks awesome. I guess it's supposed to be really good. Platinum
the
Games
reviews are
pretty good.
Platinum Games, man? I don't think so.
Yeah, Platinum
It's
Games.
solid.
Platinum Games with
Platinum
the
Games, huh?
publisher director from Square Enix.
This is what they turned Scalebound into?
Yeah, this was a scale-bound joint.
That's probably why Scalebound didn't work out.
Yeah, it was a bummer because I kind of feel that way too. I feel like maybe they put a lot of work into this one because it's so good. And whoever was, I heard that the best creator at Platinum was working on Scalebound, but maybe he was working.
Yeah,
on
the
this
guy
one
that
instead.
everyone knows.
Yeah.
Like the guy who is Platinum apparently. But I mean, they're not that huge of a company that if they're developing this
got
game,
like 4 teams or something because they made Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, this Scalebound, and
Wait, what else? They did
They didn't make
Bayonetta? Was that?
yeah, but they were making it.
that
They
them
made
too?
Bayonetta
Yeah,
too.
okay.
I think Bayonetta. It was the Bayonetta guy. I think is the guy who went on to Scalebound. And I don't know who this team is, but they did all like the combat and stuff. And then the Square Enix director who made the original Nier is like oversaw the game.
So do you think
and he was
Scalebound
working.
failed because there's a lack of really busty females main characters?
There's no busty female in this one either, though, man. We're looking up there. Bless you. Bless you.
I think Scalebound just failed because it probably was a mess.
Yeah.
I mean, like.
Yeah, I would love to still see it though. Like,
I mean,
yeah.
I would love to
Put
see
something
Earthbound
out.
64 too. The game that I remember if
Fable
you guys
Legends.
saw pictures of that, like that, I always want to play that game, but you know, we're never gonna see it, never gonna get it ever. Actually, there was another game though announced this week. Did either of you guys play Shadow of Mordor?
Oh no.
It was awesome. I really liked it. It came out at a time when there were very few games.
I liked that game, but I didn't like how anytime you failed against like the generals that they would get stronger.
But that's kind of like the cool part. That's a nemesis
It
system.
is cool, but it's like once you die against the same guy like 10 times.
Why do you suck so much, man? That's saying you suck. I
It's
mean,
not an RTS.
yeah. Why did you keep playing like
I'm
RTS?
just bad
He
at
kept trying to play Shadows of Mordor in RTS mode. That's
He's
why.
like, why am I not
wait a
building
minute.
more units?
Why is this guy attacking me back when it's my turn?
Where are my warthogs?
Bring out your wall riders.
No, Shadow War, it looked interesting. I hope it's good. They didn't show any of the open world stuff. They just showed like a
Well,
fortress
supposedly it
siege.
got leaked early, right?
Yeah,
the-
Target.
That's why they
The
just
number
put
one
the trailer
leaker
out.
of all things.
My
Target.
question with this game is: do you think that it's just going to be a rehash of the first game? Because when they talked about the story in the trailer, it's like, oh look, Sauron's coming back to life. That's different.
I think they're gonna keep having him come back to life because takes place before the Lord of the Rings, so they're just gonna keep coming back because he's like an ethereal like spirit.
Yeah, but I mean,
thing.
like, are they going? Do you think they're going to advance? I like the character a lot in the first one.
Oh,
like,
Italian?
Yeah, I mean, I liked his backstory. You
well,
think they're
don't
going
ruin
to-
it for old Donna over here. You guys
Yeah,
played
no,
it.
but I mean, do you think they're going to advance like any more like story that we care about?
I don't know.
To not watch 3 Lord of the Rings movies.
The story wasn't the reason to play that game. The reason to play it is because it was like a really fun Assassin's Creed game set in the world of, what's the Lord of the Rings? Middle Earth. Set in Middle Earth. And this one now you have like a flying dragon versus just like riding wargs. And so we'll have to see. The game's coming out in August. It's a really crazy late leak. It either makes me concerned that they threw it together last minute not knowing how successful Shadow of Mordor was, or that they had been working on it for a long time and wanted to kind of like surprise release it. And
I think it's
they-
probably hopefully closer to that.
yeah, I'm hoping it's the
I'm
second.
so sick of like hype for games.
Yeah.
And, like
It's Warner Brothers Studios
Yeah.
trying to say, our upcoming slate of DC movies might suck, so we need to make all that money back.
Well, that's the big thing. I think too many people release like, oh, hey, we're making this game. Like a thing that makes a lot of Microsoft fans and angry and a lot of people who hate Microsoft happy is that they showed Crackdown like 3 years ago and we still haven't seen what's going on with Crackdown. Like, stop showing your games before they're ready. Like if you just show games when like maybe at most a year out, then that's okay. But like I even like it when it's like 2 or 3 months. It's
unless
like
it's
hey,
Last Guardian.
Then you gotta have it 10 years. Last Guardian and Final Fantasy 15, the games that were shown more times than I don't even know, man. There were kids born before those games came out when they were shown.
Yeah, for real.
And that were old enough to probably get it as a T-rated game. It's crazy. But so there was like 2 games that released this week: Ghost Recon, Nier Automata, and then game, Zelda, but that was kind of in last week. And then we really just have one news story that I guess Square Enix is making something.
they're making a World War II shooter.
And we
Publishing
really
it, right?
publishing it.
But
Who's making it?
Bulkhead Studios is making it. The game is all Kickstarter based. Like
Okay, that's weird.
had a Kickstarter and they.
Is this part of their like weird indie program they have?
Yeah, and they
they released a game for that.
They
called, like,
raised the
something.
money. From what I understand, they raised the money for it in like 3 days. So
I don't understand Square's indie program. I get emails for it randomly, and then
Yeah.
it's like support one of these games, and then none of them look like. I mean,
The Moon one looked kind of cool. It was like an action RPG, Zelda-esque style, like Link to the Past.
this
looking
one
game.
like legitimately looks like a Call of Duty with Final Fantasy characters.
Well,
though, just from what I've seen the pictures.
The picture didn't look like it had Final Fantasy characters. It looked like just Call of Duty, man. Where did you see anybody with like long hair or who looked interesting? They looked all like just like Dude Bro soldiers.
I don't know. It's the animations all look the same to me though. But
I don't know. I don't think it's a game that anybody here is super interested in, just because.
I like the idea of a World War II shooter, though. I mean,
Coming back to it, yeah,
I'm
that
so
sounds
tired
cool.
of I hate Call
Modern.
of Duty. All I'm already biased against it, but I think I like those games. I love Call of Duty 2. I would play that game forever, and then all the stuff went modern. It's just it's all the same now. It's like every game is Halo.
Well, just give me my Tales of Berseria. I don't want to hear about this garbage, okay?
I like Halo. I don't like Call of Duty.
I like Halo 2.
I like the way Call of Duty controls is really good. I think a lot of games that took its controls, that's like the best controlling game. They released too many of them. I love Modern Warfare.
I just don't have a drive to play competitive games. It just doesn't entertain me at all.
Yeah.
It doesn't inspire me at all aesthetically, so I don't like them.
I like playing competitive games when I'm with friends. Like, I don't really care about playing the competitive games. I just like playing games with friends. So like Ghost Recon, the one that came out this week, looked cool because it was 4-player co-op.
I think I'd rather just play Smash Brothers.
Does Ghost Recon have a story? I know it's always been just
about actual
missions.
ghosts. That would be interesting to me.
It is about your job is to find recon about ghosts.
It's a paranormal shooter,
and you're just a guy in the middle of Alabama. It really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You're just an average Joe who decided to become a ghost hunter.
Yeah.
But no, there is one last thing we really want to talk about, and that is obviously the big release of last week, the Nintendo Switch. There were a ton of issues that were released alongside the excellent Zelda, and these issues range from the left Joy-Con desyncing, which old Donna and I got a chance to mess around.
Experience the syncing firsthand.
Really bad.
Within seconds.
Yeah, it's not like a short-term thing. I guess if you don't have aquariums or wires, supposedly it's better. And if you shut off all
I gotta say,
devices.
the Joy-Cons felt terrible.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Pro Controller is excellent, but yeah, the Joy-Con are small. I think if you play it handheld mode, it's not that bad.
You know what? I didn't like it handheld mode either, because I actually like the gamepad for the Wii U. I like the bulkiness of it.
This is kind of awkward.
It's not too bad. Yeah, it is awkward.
Why
but
have a
have
D-pad
you played
and a joystick at the same time?
Well, this isn't a D-pad. This is technically a D-pad, but there's a lot of games that use D-pad. So
yeah, it's just too small for me. It feels like
if you're playing a 3DS, this is better than that. I think.
So you want to play with the Xbox controller?
I don't think so, because it's the distance between the buttons and the joysticks that drives me nuts.
Okay, I just think once you guys get one, you'll understand. As an owner of I know, but as an owner of a PS Vita and a 3DS, at least personally, I feel like it is better than those. The things I don't like is that unlike a 3DS, which felt like, hey, I drop it, it's probably not going to shatter instantly. This definitely does not have. You drop this thing, it's probably game over. I know there's a video online, a guy dropping it 20 times and no issues, but he is. Probably not. He's probably a lot luckier than most people.
Were there any videos out this time of people going and buying the Switch and then breaking it in the street? Like when
yeah, they have a guy. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Like
drops
when the PlayStation came out, this guy walked
cue the video, producer. Cue that guy's video, and that guy will get that guy more views because we love him. So anyways, we got the Joy-Con desync. We already talked about how you guys hate the controllers, which is false. False statement.
It's just like I didn't think like the Wiimote's not a bad controller to me. Like it feels fine.
Yeah, I didn't. Oh, the Wiimote. Oh, yeah. You're not talking about the gamepad.
No, I like the gamepad too, but this just feels weird.
It's small. It is small, but I think they did that so you're not like carrying around like a big lunkin thing.
But they still could have made like stretched like where the joypads are or the sticks are.
Yeah, I don't know. I've grown already accustomed to it.
Because when you hold it that way, it's like you're playing like. No, when you play the games where you just use a Joy-Con this way.
Oh, that's dumb. Oh, no, actually, that's not too bad. With you're normally playing something stupid and easy with friends, so I think like the fun is just like, hey, you're not gonna be able to do anything precise. You're right.
Yeah, but what happens when they come out with like new Super Mario Brothers Switch, and it's like a side scroller game where you only use buttons like you would have like a regular Nintendo controller. So it's like you do this and you're literally like banging thumbs while you're trying to push those two buttons.
I love banging thumbs. Put no in there, please.
Oh yeah.
It's I don't know, man. We'll cross those bridges when we get to them. I am enjoying it right now, but the other issues, thankfully, I have not had to deal with. There are things like dead pixels on the screen where people are just getting some.
See, I read that somebody called Nintendo about that, and Nintendo said that that's perfectly normal.
Well, that is stupid and BS, and that means they're not,
What is dead pixels? I don't get it.
Dead pixels means that instead of your screen showing the game, there's just black dots where the pixels actually aren't showing anything. So, like, when you see Zelda, instead of the screen all showing stuff, there's like and for people at home, I'm showing a screen right now. There would be like a black dot right there.
Is there a way?
What does that mean? How does it go away?
It doesn't. Nintendo is saying that it's part of the system. However, it's not. It is a screen issue, meaning that like the pixel there is not working properly. So it's just not showing that pixel there.
For our viewers / listeners, all 30 of them, is there a way to fix that? Can they send it in to somebody?
So their screens are permanently missing pixels.
Yeah. So it is a flaw that Nintendo is not. It sounds like not admitting to.
Yeah, I'm thinking. That sounds extreme because I'm thinking of just like.
No. This is it is an extreme issue and people are having that.
I'm just thinking about like pop-ins or like draw distance stuff.
No.
Like I turned really fast and the game didn't load and there was some black pixels or something.
That'd be like if there was a black dot on your iPhone the whole time, like, and it never went away. Meaning like that screen never showed that picture. Yeah, I just brought it home, okay?
That's actually insane.
Yeah, and so they're not, from what I've heard, they're not actually like admitting to doing that or admitting to having that issue.
They did it on purpose.
I don't know if they're doing fixes. Since I work for Nintendo, I can't give you guys all the leaks yet.
Okay.
My uncle and me both work for Nintendo.
EA and Nintendo.
But they also have things like blue screen, which is like an instant crash that people have had. From like the day they turn it on, it'll just go to blue screen. Like not as serious as Red Ring of Death was on the 360, but similar to that level. And there's blue screen, black screen, and orange screen, and one of them you can't fix and you have to send them into Nintendo. Some of them can be fixed by just holding the power button and resetting it. I've had talked to people who have had issues with it picking up Wi-Fi. It is a beta, like we mentioned last week and the week before. This is a beta console. It is not done. There is actually talk. People think they might be doing a factory recall on the left Joy-Con because people have opened up the Joy-Con and they place the Bluetooth type receiver under another thing. That's why it's causing friction and not working. Whereas this one has like a copper wire, I believe it is, that's sticking out, so it's able to get that.
So it's a design flaw.
So it's Nintendo's
so what you're saying
issues.
is that the thing that everyone thinks, which is that the Switch was rushed.
Yeah. Is false. It's totally false. It's the best system ever.
Oh, yeah.
Zelda came out, okay, guys? Zelda.
Yeah.
No, I mean...
Embarrassing.
It is an embarrassing thing. I still do like the system a lot. I've only had the left Joy-Con desync, and I've only played it in handheld mode or with a Pro Controller, so I don't really get that because it doesn't have issues when it's plugged in. But yeah, it's bad. It's real bad, especially if you don't have an extra $70 to buy a Pro Controller.
It just feels like I get the things with like the graphics where it's like Nintendo always makes their games awesome and look great even though they're super underpowered systems.
Yeah, 900p.
But at some point it's almost like in the world of iPhones they're trying to sell you a beeper.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you think it's nostalgia that keeps people buying these consoles?
I have no idea, but it just seems crazy to me. They're like, hey, I know that you like having everything work here.
Yeah.
But have you thought about a beeper recently? They're pretty dang cool.
It has those issues, but the reason why I think the Switch it beat the Wii U's sales for the first week, it's a little bit under the
probably
Wii's.
Because it had a different name.
Yeah, probably because it had a different name. Also because it did release with a killer app. The Wii U did not. The Wii U released with like New Super Mario Brothers. That was the big game, and they had like Raven Rabbids or something like that. But this at least released with a Zelda. So there's probably 4 million people, or 3 or 4 million people on earth who would be willing to buy this Switch just to play a portable and new console Zelda and don't own a Wii U because only 13 million Wii U's exist.
Yeah.
Like out in the wild. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm hoping the Mario is awesome, the new Mario game that comes out. I'm hoping they get their stuff together by E3. But right now, I think after this first sales, I think you're going to start seeing them in stores as soon as they start putting them back out there. Because why would you buy it if you don't want Zelda? Like, there is no reason to get this console if you don't want the newest Zelda. And if you have a Wii U and can get Zelda there, why would you buy a Switch?
If Super Mario Odyssey comes out on the Wii U.
Oh my! If they did that, that would be mind-blowingly dumb. However, they're still releasing 3DS games, and they need to be putting all of their support into this Switch if they want people to buy it. Because right now it's like, well, why don't I just buy a 3DS? It's $150 cheaper. 3DS. And it's got a huge library.
That's still an active console, though, right?
They need to kill it. They need to just put all of their money into this thing, fix this thing, make this thing powerful, and like get us all the JRPGs, all the games, like everything. Because right now, why are you going to pay $300 for a console that has lots of problems and is not? I mean,
that's an interesting thought. So you think they'll ever make like a Pokemon game on?
They're supposed to. There were rumors of having the newest Pokemon that released on 3DS last year, of having like the Ultimate Edition on the Switch at the end of this year. So we'll see. There's lots of rumors. The rumors are that almost every Wii U game that was successful is coming to Switch. Rumors that they're going to kill off the 3DS and put a lot of the games on the Switch. It just depends on if those rumors are real. If they're false,
they should do those things.
It
just seems crazy to me that they develop such like poor consoles sometimes. Like
that'd be a great marketing idea, though. I mean, if they want people to like go out and buy these things, like that's a great idea.
Well, no, we've talked about that before. Like not here, but like because I play my 3DS all the freaking time.
Yeah, it's great console.
It's amazing, and I love it. So if this was like, I could care less if the console, if like the TV console was, like terrible, like it is apparently.
Yeah.
If this was like the next iteration of Nintendo handheld.
Yeah.
Then I know.
You could also play on the TV. That'd be killer.
Like they kill it with their handhelds. Like I've never had a disappointing Nintendo handheld. Except for the Virtual Boy, but
right now
I actually have one.
They're splitting like the two. They're like, hey, we've got half our team developing games for 3DS, half our team's developing games for Switch. If they don't start saying like, hey, all games go to Switch, then we're going to run into the same problems they had with Wii U. Yeah, they had great Wii U games. They didn't have a lot of games. And right now, like, the third party aren't going to want to like, oh, I have to descale every game from 1080p and 4K to 900p and 720p to work on pretty much a 4-year-old Android tablet, So it's frustrating. It's stuff that they can fix. They can fix this if they want. And if they do things like give you your virtual console games for free, then they might get some goodwill. But I'm a little concerned that Nintendo doesn't learn from their mistakes and is like a weird console toy manufacturer where they just do whatever they want.
Well, at least they kept friend codes.
Yeah, well, I play less. Yeah, you want to talk to your friends?
A lot of people are super thrilled about that, I hear.
Well, anyways, we don't have too much more time, but I did want to ask you guys about just each one game that you liked from last month. So, that came out last month, whether you played it or not. What was your game from last month?
Ooh,
Torment.
Oh yeah, okay. So Torment was your game for last month. We talked a little bit about that today. How about you?
I liked For Honor. I didn't purchase it, but I liked the demo. I liked it a lot, and if I have had Halo Wars 2, I would have bought For Honor.
Yeah,
I don't know why I bought Halo Wars 2. In hindsight, like it's.
Yeah, and you're a sucker. No, I'm just joking. It looks
it's
good.
True. I'm not denying
I would get it if at $20. I'll get it. For me, it was a split between Neo and Horizon Zero Dawn. I didn't buy either of them because I knew I was going to get a Nintendo Switch, but they both looked cool in different ways. Neo as like a Dark Souls-like, and Horizon Zero Dawn is a really good adventure game. And one last question I want to ask you guys: what game are you looking forward to this month? This month of March 2017.
Torment.
You can't use your February game. What game? You just had to choose one. Any game.
It's Mass Effect.
Well, yeah, Mass Effect.
For me, it's a mix. I don't know if I'd go Mass Effect. I think I'm going to choose this Zelda. Like, I as much as I love Mass Effect...
It's already out, though.
Well, it's just the games Okay,
Brian,
whatever.
Brian,
Then I'll talk about it next
specific
month.
In
okay,
your,
games coming out, games that came out.
Do I have to
or
talk
are
about
releasing in
last
March.
month and this month and next week too, while it's still this month and last month is still last month?
Damn.
Can we go 3 months back?
It is the first
I'm still
week
waiting-
of the month.
I'm
I
still
just
waiting for
asked.
that. I'm still waiting for Scalebound to come out. So can I say that?
Okay, and this is a good time to end. I guess we did this kind of successfully. Thanks.
Real quick though,
Oh,
you guys
yeah.
can check us out on YouTube.
Can they email us yet, or do we not? We still don't have an email.
I'm gonna do that today. You can email
Oh,
us
gosh, darn
at
it. Don't give an email yet out.
Okay. All right. Shh.
Just put it on the screen.
But you can watch us on YouTube. Just go and search Humanican Media and we'll pop up there. Also on Facebook. And you can check us out on podcast.com.
You can check me out on Twitter at bigbuttlover.com. Dr. Donna, where can they find you?
Now, is Big Butt Lover, does that imply that you love big butts or you are a big butt and a lover?
I both actually. Kind of surprisingly, I chose it, for both reasons, but I am a big butt.
You know, is it Big Butt Lover or Big Butt Lover?
Oh boy.
And
That
are we speaking metaphorically?
Where can they
or
tweet?
physically?
Where can they tweet you at? Their hashtags, Donna?
Big Butt Lover.
Damn it! Okay.
All right. That was productive.
Done.
Done.
You cut there.
To us people that can feel things, it hurts.